The following episode of What's the Buzz is sponsored by Manscaped.com. Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. It's Thursday night, and we're live. Hello, everybody. Mad Dog DeCipio once again to ask that question. Amelia,
yes.
What's the buzz? How are you, kid?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'll tell you what, if there was any better, there'd be Tony Solis. I mean, Solis in me tonight.
Right?
Damn. I'll tell you what, we got a good show tonight. A really, really good show tonight. Before we get into our show, we have sad news from the world of Hollywood.
Yes.
Actor James Caan passed away today. You remember him from films like Elf, Brian's Song, The Godfather trilogy. He left us today to go on to better pastures, and we say, James, job well done.
Till we meet again.
Amelia, what do you know about old school Las Vegas? What do you know about that?
Well, I remember hearing about the Rat Pack and old music, bandstand music, things like that you could really dance to back then and really get to jive on, as they say.
You're just a young kid.
My mom used to play the kind of music. I remember hearing that around the house.
But do you remember, or you're hearing stories passed down from generation?
Passed down from generation.
You're what, like 20? How old are you, right? 20?
I wish. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm Italian, so I grew up. It was a rite of passage. I had to listen to Dean Martin, had to listen to Frank Sinatra, and I had to listen to Elvis Presley. That was just the way it was in my house. Yeah, if you listen to anything other than those guys, it wasn't happening for you. It just wasn't happening. Let me tell you about our guest tonight. I got a really amazing guy. Tonight, we're going to have an evening with Dean Martin, as told through the eyes of an incredible entertainer. He's a showman. His name is Phil Solis. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Phil is a guy that you would not suspect, crossing him on the street anywhere, that he would make his living as a Dean Martin tribute artist, but in fact, he is one of the finest tribute artists in America, if not the world. He has been called uncanny. He has been called spot on. Some of the people say things like, here's what they're saying about him. Phil Solis is the best Dean Martin impersonator I've ever seen. He resembles Dean in his looks, his sound, and his mannerisms. I would love to see Phil do a Dean Martin variety show like the one back on the old days, back on TV. Remember the roast? They used to do the Dean Martin roast. Watching Phil Solis is like watching Dean Martin's hologram. Dean Martin returns to Las Vegas, immortalized as the king of cool. The Phil portrayal of Martin was spot on, including cigarette and drink in hand. And right now, Phil is practicing for the next show. So he's got the cigarette and his drink with him. Phil, welcome to What's the Buzz, my friend.
Hey.
Great to have you here.
I'm welcome.
Thank you so much. I'll drink to that. You know, all those people said all those wonderful things about me. I paid them each $20.
I said it for free.
I'll tell you what. As I said a moment ago, I grew up in an Italian household.
Oh, God bless you. You made it.
I made it, yeah, and lived to tell the tale. Oh, fuck. Exactly. I grew up listening to Sinatra, Dean Martin, Elvis Presley, the Rat Pack. Sammy Davis Jr. loved. Who doesn't love Sammy?
Yeah.
Your upbringing. Give me a little insight into Phil. Tell me about
well, I too grew up in Italian. My mother, she loved Dean Martin, and she played Dean Martin all the time. Morning, noon, and night. She'd play Dean Martin, and we'd listen to that and watch his TV show on Thursday nights. And then later on, he did the roasts and things like that, and we watched those and had a lot of fun doing it. And so I started imitating Dean Martin from my mom, really, and she got a big kick out of it and kind of encouraged me. That's the problem. She encouraged me. Then I went on to radio when I was after high school. I went on a radio show called the Dr. Demento Show. I don't know.
Oh my God, are you kidding me, Dr. Demento?
Yeah,
that was a rite of passage in the Northeast.
So if you look me up, you'll find several of my songs that I wrote. I was on the show several times. I knew Dr. D, I should say, and of course back then Weird Al was just getting started, and Stu and Damascus and all those guys. Had one of my songs made it to the top 10, stayed on there for many years. It's called "The Ballad of the Rat." And you can still find it on.
Did you write that?
I wrote that.
I know the song. I know it. Did you? That was yours?
That's mine. Yeah, me and.
Are you shitting me? Oh my God, that was a Dr. Demento staple.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, are you shit, brother? I was a big Dementoid. Trust me, I was a huge Dr. D fan. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun. And
oh my God, I can't believe you wrote that song. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I heard a little birdie did whisper into my ear that you used to do Dean for your mom, and that was really how you kind of started this. Interestingly enough, we've had a number of tribute artists on the show.
Oh, is that right?
We've had Steve McCoy, a very dear friend of mine.
Oh, I know Steve. Yeah, Steve's great.
Great guy.
Tom Jones, he's a big guy in Vegas right now.
Oh God, yeah.
Robbie is a good friend of Steve's, and I know Robbie. Well, Robbie does a lot of different voices, but mostly Frank now. And
Steve and I grew up in the same town. We grew up actually a block away from each other.
Is that right?
Yeah, we grew up with friends together. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, for sure.
He's great.
He went into entertainment, and I went into radio and television.
Oh, okay.
And that was my forte, radio and TV, and we still are on radio right now.
There you go. You didn't travel very far.
And so it's interesting that we've had a lot of these kinds of people on the show, and it's funny, almost, and Amelia, remember this, on almost every case, they grew up singing for family members, or entertaining their families, or in your case, your mom, and Steve, in Steve McCoy's case. This is funny. I'm going to give you some ammunition to use against him next time you see him. He used to charge people $0.25 to get into his basement to watch him lip sync Tom Jones. Tell me you heard that story from Angelo.
Oh,
I haven't heard that from him.
Send him the clip.
And of course, Pete Wilcox. I don't know if you know America's TV Elvis. Pete Wilcox.
He's a friend of mine on Facebook as well.
Yeah, Pete is a member of my network.
Oh, okay.
He does a show here called Having Coffee with the King.
Hey,
And
did you know there are over 83,000 Elvis impersonators worldwide? 83,000.
Making a full-time living doing it too.
Well, hopefully, yeah, but
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
It's a scary number, brother. It's a and it was more than that back in the early days.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, up to 200,000 people worldwide were making their full-time living doing Elvis.
Yeah, that's right.
Scary.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
your mother encouraged you, and you went on to do radio, and you
That's right.
did. I'm sure you at some point had to do at least a cold audition for somebody to get known or to get discovered on some
Well,
next level.
yeah, I went on to college, and from there I worked in Hollywood off and on for many years, and eventually found my way to Disneyland, the Walt Disney Company, and worked there for many years, about 35 years there, and then now I find myself on the East Coast and doing things with all kinds of fun people, like a guy that does Sinatra out here, and a Sammy, and all of that. We have a lot of fun. Yeah,
I tell you what, if it's funny, you're here tonight, and luckily we got you. And it's funny how things worked out. Tonight was supposed to be Angelo Capone, who does Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, I thought Andrew was going to be here.
Well, he last minute he told me he had a family situation that came up.
Uh-oh.
So I rebooked Ange for July
21st.
21st.
Right.
Yeah,
right after our show.
July 21st. I'll tell you what, maybe Phil, maybe we could get you back then too if you want.
Yeah, might be. I'll have to check my calendar, but yeah, maybe. Angelo, as you know, and I are doing a big show in New Jersey coming up next week, and we'll be there. And in Monroe, I guess that's a township, they tell me. But
yeah, it's 10 minutes from where I am right now.
Oh, so you're going to come to our show?
I may actually be there. Yeah,
I hope you do.
Yeah,
because it's going to be a lot of fun, and Angelo and I have been doing a lot of rehearsing and playing around together, and it's just a real natural vibe. You talk about audition.
It seems like I never met Ange in person, but I've been his Facebook friend. He seems like a really genuine guy.
Yeah.
He does a hell of a Jerry, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
He's going to carry most of the show. All I do is show up and drink. That's my
show. I've said this before. Being a Dean Martin tribute artist is the greatest job in the world. You can drink and smoke on stage, and they pay you for it.
Right?
They pay you for it. It's a great gig. It's a great gig.
Certainly not complaining about it.
No, absolutely.
Been doing it now for over 10 years, and there's a lot of guys, and I know a lot of the guys that do it. And,
Yeah.
On both coasts, there's at least 3 guys in Wisconsin that I'm good friends with, and several guys on the West Coast, that I hang out with sometimes or talk on the phone.
Yeah.
They're all great guys, all the Dean Martins and all the Sammy,
Sure.
all wonderful people.
Amelia, questions for Phil?
Yes, I was going to ask you, with your touring and everything, is there one song that particularly that everyone wants to make sure that you sing on every tour?
Well, absolutely. So Everybody Loves Somebody is a great big hit, and it was a big hit of Dean Martin's in 1964, and they called it the Beatle Buster because it actually surpassed all the Beatles songs and made #1.
Sure did.
In 1964, that's right. So Everybody Loves Somebody, and the other song that people like to sing along with is King of the Road. They like to sing with that one, and of course, That's Amore. That's something that people really like, and they tend
That's Amore.
like cheer.
Right?
Phil, do you know Tom Stevens?
Yeah, Tom is a friend of mine. He does a really good show. In fact, he does with Tony Lewis. He does a really good Martin and Lewis show.
Yeah. Oh, Tony Lewis is amazing.
Yeah, he is. I think he's from Australia, actually.
Yeah, he sure is. Yep.
And Tom's just fantastic. Tom's been doing it many years, and
Oh God, a long time. But he does a lot of other impressions, though.
yeah,
To
that's right.
my knowledge, you do Dean, and you also do like a Sinatra kind of tribute as well.
Well, not really. I mean, when I sing Sinatra, sometimes I get requests from folks to sing Sinatra songs, but
Right.
I sing them in the arrangement and in the way that Dean Martin sang them.
Oh,
So
I got you. Okay.
yeah, I don't really impersonate Sinatra. That's not really my thing. And Sinatra's a wonderful person to do a tribute to. Of course, he's very popular and does a lot of things that and gets booked a lot of places that I don't. But in fact, Sinatra said he was going to join me tonight, but I think he found somebody to hit.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what. Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, any variation thereof, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I want to talk to you, Phil, about a couple of guys, kind of a mutual admiration society. And we'll talk to you about these three guys: Dean Martin, Roy Orbison, Elvis Presley.
Yeah, oh, wonderful. I love
all
them.
three guys have something in common. They all consider each other their favorite singer.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know that about Roy Orbison, but I did know that about Elvis. In fact, Elvis is who gave Dean Martin the title King of Cool. And so, but I didn't know that about Roy. Roy Orbison.
Here's the question I have for you. What is that intangible factor that resonates these guys with the public? Dean Martin, everybody wanted to be Dean Martin. He had that black hair, that silky smooth voice that just kind of. Elvis himself said he emulated Dean Martin and was his favorite singer.
Yeah, that's right.
You got Elvis Presley saying that Dean Martin is your favorite singer. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dean Martin certainly was a very suave individual, and I think all of us that pay tribute to Dean Martin, we all have a slice of the pie, but nobody that I know of anyway can capture Dean Martin entirely. We all take a certain sliver of that pie, and but Dean Martin was such an amazing singer, a crooner. Elvis was an amazing singer as well, and also had a charisma, obviously. Roy Orbison was very stylized. He was very. I saw him perform once, and he had this aura about him that people just, you just got drawn to it, and you're mesmerized by whenever he would sing. It was a very interesting voice that was very haunting. Yeah, that's all I can put it. When I listen to Roy Orbison,
someone described Roy's voice, as very moody.
Yeah,
he had a moody voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
When did you realize, Phil, that you had that it factor?
Well, I haven't yet.
Well, you're doing something right, my friend.
No, I don't know. I think that several people that I've worked with and producers I've worked with have complimented me and said that I do a really good job of paying tribute to Dean Martin, and that's really what I strive for. When I am on stage, I want people to think that maybe they're actually going back in time and seeing Dean Martin. That's what I strive for, and it helps if you have a few drinks under your belt, but because I find,
Dean Martin. Remember what Dean said, the more you drink, the better I sound.
Yeah, right. That's the same with me too, pal. Yeah, absolutely. I think when when Angelo and I hit the stage next week, I think the audience is going to have a lot of fun with that. And I do a lot of the singing, and Jerry does a lot of the comedy. Angelo does a lot of the comedy, obviously, but I play along with them. And believe it or not, a lot of it, we're leaving up to improvisation.
Yeah.
We can see how that all plays out.
I want people at home, we're going to take a look right now at and I want to thank philsolis.com for use of this clip. Let's take a look at this, Phil. This is you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I like this song.
Great. I love this song, too. It's a great song.
Got no slouch hat, got my roll on my shoulder. Well, I'm as free as a breeze, I do as I please, just bumming around. Got a million friends, I ain't getting any older, 'cause I got nothing to lose, not even the blues, just bumming around. Whenever worries start bothering me, grab my coat, my old slouch hat, hit the trail again, you see. I ain't got a dime, don't care where I'm going, 'cause I'm as free as a breeze, do as I please, just bumming around. Grab my coat, my old slouch hat, hit the trail again, you see. I ain't got a dime, don't care where I'm going, 'cause I'm as free as a breeze, I do as I please, just bumming around, just bumming around.
Yay.
I love that song, by the way. It's one of my
I wanted to continue.
Well, we got a couple more and we're going to show.
Okay, good. I was just mesmerized. I was just like.
I'm glad you
talk to me. Talk to me about that song, Phil. When you sing, people don't realize that when an artist is singing, they're taking on not only the emotion of the song, but they're putting themselves in the place of that person.
Yeah.
So how do you get yourself there? How do you become Dean? Aside from the jokes, the cigarette and the drink, how do you put yourself in the Dean's head?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, I have obviously studied Dean Martin. I still, to this day, every day spend at least an hour watching Dean Martin videos. And that particular song he did in his later years, he did that one in London. And that's the show that I like to reproduce in 1983 is an older Dean Martin. And he had a little bit of a different style than the Dean Martin that we associate with the TV show and all of that. I enjoy that, portraying that Dean Martin. So really what I do is I study the video of Dean Martin in London, watch that over and over again so I can get all the nuances of Dean Martin's character. A lot of people, pick up on some of those traits, and unfortunately, some people don't. But Dean Martin, he was a boxer back in the day, and he ended up breaking his hands, and so he had fingers that never really healed. So Dean would hold his hand oftentimes like this, and because his fingers were broken, and people don't realize that. And oftentimes he would use a cigarette as a prop to distract people from the fact. Lucille Ball, who was a great friend of Dean Martin, used to call him Old Crooked Finger because of his broken fingers.
I heard that.
Yeah. And,
I actually heard that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of preparation time and a lot of rehearsal that goes into it. I wish it was as simple as me. I know some guys that they just show up and do Dean Martin, and they do a really good job. I wish I could do that. But to me, it requires a lot of delving into the videos and the songs and I do that every day. And my wife can't stand it. She said that she doesn't want to hear another Dean Martin song. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about it. How does the family react to you now? Do they ever get? Does she seriously ever get sick of it?
She won't go to my shows anymore.
Oh wow!
I have to drag her. We're doing another Martin and Lewis in September, and she's going to go to one of those or two of those shows. In next week I'm going to be flying solo. She's been seeing me do it for so many years. Whoa, what's that hand there? What is that?
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
What's going on? What the hell is that?
I don't know.
What happened, Amelia?
I don't know. Something popped on my screen for some reason.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know what that was.
That I don't know. It's just, I guess, a warning because we're having some thunderstorms here, some real bad thunderstorms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a glitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Phil, you're in Virginia. You guys having weather issues there?
This is my first year in Virginia. I was in North Carolina last year at this time, and I got to tell this thing called humidity. That's got to go.
Yes. That's got to go here too. Right?
Yeah. So apparently we're having some weather going on here.
Yeah.
Used, being from California, I'm not used to this thing called humidity, but it's beautiful here. We got trees.
Culture shock, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, we got land. Yeah, you're absolutely right about culture shock. It's
for sure. Yeah,
different, but I do love it here, and I love the people here, and I'm very much a country type of person at heart, and so I'm the countryside of Virginia, and I own a little ranch. And,
you talk about watching the London performance. That was either at the Palladium or the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, he did both actually.
Yeah, because I've seen both. He was a very different performer by that point in his career.
You got it.
And I think I might be right about this. Phil, correct me, please, if I'm wrong. Please do. He had retired for a short time and then came back to perform again after his son died.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dean Jr. passed away, and it was very hard on Dean Martin. It really deteriorated him. It hit him very hard to the point where it was hard for him. If you listen to things past 1983. Dean, he didn't remember a lot of the lyrics to a lot of his big songs and things like that. It was really unfortunate. But they say there is no, I'm very grateful I've never experienced the death of a child, but they say there's no greater loss than that. And so, my heart goes out to anybody that is lost.
I heard something that you probably will know about.
Okay.
You just brought something up very important.
Yeah.
He had from time to time he had trouble remembering the lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah.
The palm of his hand was always this way. Was always facing away from the audience. And
Uh,
I asked somebody about that. They said that he would write little things in it. You know what I'm talking about,
yeah, I
right?
did know what you did. Yeah, and he did,
Yeah, he
especially
would write stuff in
uh,
his hand, like
even. Yeah.
to remind him of what was coming up next. Like what's because if he saw the title, he would remember.
Yeah. A lot of times. And
Isn't that
sometimes,
crazy stuff? That there's things that people do.
yeah, I mean, you do so many songs, and Dean had. There's so many songs Dean Martin had that a lot of people have never heard. Uh, when people ask me, if you go to my website, you can find that I have over 140 songs of Dean Martin's, and I have more, except they don't have the backing tracks available, and I've never gotten charts written for them because they're so rare. But
Right.
Dean Martin had over 400 songs that he actually did, and there are so many songs that you do. I don't know how you heard half of those songs anyway. I mean, it's tough to do.
I want to take a look at another little slideshow. Amelia, you'll be happy camping in it because we
Yes.
got slideshows out the yin yang tonight.
Yay. My
Let's take a look
favorite.
at this one right here. This is Phil. This is a mixture of Phil and Dean.
Oh.
There's Phil. You look just like him in that picture, bro, right there.
That's right.
And right, that's perfect. I love that picture.
That was
Jackie Mason. Who's your little elf? Out of character.
Tribute show.
Now that's the Rat Pack.
That was a big show we did in California.
That's a good one. We've done a lot of shows. We're doing. I don't know if Angelo told you or not, but we all got a 17-piece band now. 17 Wow.
orchestra. Yeah. And we're going to be actually doing some footage of that on next Friday night. I'll be singing with them some of my songs. Everybody Loves Somebody and Ain't That a Kick in the Head. And I think we're doing That's Amore as well. So that'll be live with the band.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And that's going to be in New Jersey.
Well, at the end of the show, I want you to promote that.
Yes.
I'm going to promote a bunch of your stuff at the end of the show.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Amelia,
Yes.
questions for our guest, Phil.
Yes. Do you like the fact that the big bands are coming back? Do you miss that? Between when you were.
That's a great question, Amelia. I love that style. There's a band locally called Good Shot Judy, and they perform also in New Jersey and New York, and they're great. They do all that swing music and swing jazz, and I miss that. I also miss, and I really wish it would come back, are the cocktail lounges that would have stage. And, yeah, I'm hoping that all revives and people go out to see that. I'm very grateful right now that people are heading out back, feeling comfortable and safe enough to head back out into going to shows and seeing live performances. The pandemic was very tough on a lot of my friends.
Yes.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Bill. You and I both. I think we would both agree that the pandemic all but killed the entertainment business, especially in Las Vegas and Atlantic City.
That's right. That's right. I only know of a few people in Atlantic City, but I have a lot of friends in Las Vegas that they were unemployed for over a year.
Yeah,
they couldn't get any work. They couldn't get insurance or any of that. So that was very tough. But now things are opening up again, and things are happening, and people are feeling good about going out and seeing some live.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they say everything old is new again. So if that's the case, I'm looking for that trend to pick up. The clubs are coming back. Music and entertainment are coming back.
Yeah, that's right.
What is your favorite kind of venue to play? You've played all kinds of venues from corporate events to private parties to casino lounges, showrooms. What's your type of the kind of venue you most feel at home in?
Well, I honestly, because of the performer that I pay tribute to, I feel comfortable in any venue, to be perfectly honest. But my favorite is with a live orchestra and on a nice stage with a good size house. Seats at least 300 or 400 seat audience or more. That's my favorite venue because I can really capture. I feel I really capture the Dean Martin show he did at the Sands and later on in London, like I mentioned, and at the Mega, all of that. I really enjoy doing that. So,
Phil, I got a funny story to tell you about the Sands Casino in Atlantic City.
Okay, in Atlanta or Atlantic City or Vegas?
Atlantic City.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't exist anymore. It's they tore it down.
Right.
But and Amelia will tell you my background, Phil. You're going to love this. My background is professional wrestling. Wait, it gets better.
Wait.
I cannot make this up. I cannot. I swear to you, I cannot make this up.
And inside,
we did a wrestling show. Hold on, Amelia. Wait, it's good because I want Phil to hear this.
Yeah.
I had a wrestling show.
All right.
On December 16th, 2001.
Oh,
it was a benefit show for the 9/11 fund, right?
Oh, good.
December 16th, 2001, I had a professional wrestling show. 2 weeks later on Christmas.
Yeah.
Who do you think I had to open up for? At the Sands Casino in the AC. Frank Sinatra.
In 2001? I thought Frank had retired by 2001.
Was the last show he did in AC.
Okay. All right. Very good. Wow.
That was the last show he did in Atlantic City was at the Sands Casino, 2001 a Christmas show.
Wow. Did you get to see Frank?
I got to open for him.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can see him.
It was great. Actually, I had a relative in the music business who handled Frank back in the 60s.
Was it Tom?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Freddie DeCipio.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A name from way back, a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah. And that's the first time I'm saying that publicly too. Because I wasn't allowed to acknowledge him for a long time.
Yeah. They're
But
some of the greatest guys, by the way.
yeah, I know. But you know what? I don't care anymore. Here's the thing.
Me too. I'll drink to that.
Sinatra was a really good guy. He had this reputation of being a hard ass and difficult to do business with.
Yeah.
I guess if you got on his bad side, he might have been hard to do business with, but he was always really good. I met him twice.
Yeah.
And he was always good to me.
Yeah.
But I never got to. It's funny because I never got to meet Dean Martin. I never got to meet Sammy or Liza Minnelli, and they were all down there at the same time when I was working there.
Wow.
And I got to meet Frank, but not the others.
That's great.
Did you ever get to meet Dean?
No, I never did, and I wish I would have. But I have some friends that have, and of course, when I perform, I often have seniors that come to me and recollect stories about when they met Dean Martin and that sort of thing. But no,
gotcha.
I did. I unfortunately never did. I wish I could have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. I want to take a look at some more stuff here. Take a look at this.
Oh.
I want people to take a look at that. That's Phil on the left. That's Dean on the right.
Yeah.
The comparison in resemblance is uncanny in that photo. By the way, Amelia did that photo. So
thank you, Amelia. I appreciate
it. You're welcome.
Credit goes to Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman.
She
did a hell of a job with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Dean. Let's take a look at Dean. This is toward the end of his life.
That's how I look now.
Yeah. It's funny. He was almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, that was taken outside of his favorite hamburger joint in Hollywood.
That was the last photo of Dean ever taken.
Yeah.
He died just about 2 weeks after those pictures.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
And it's funny that here's a guy that was one of the best looking, a singer, movie star, actor. He did everything.
Yes.
He did song, dance, comedy. He acted in movies. He was an amazing performer. But when you look at those photos, it breaks your heart because he's almost unrecognizable as this once adoring matinee idol.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I attribute all of that to, the death of his son. It really destroyed him. And, he and Jean got back together after that. I think that kind of brought them close together again. But he just ended up on a path that he, couldn't dig himself out of that hole. And I think most of us have been in that kind of place at some point in our life.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
dig yourself out, and I just guess he couldn't do it. So it saddens me for him, about what he went through and that kind of thing.
Phil, you've done a lot of work with other tribute artists. You're doing a show with Angelo Capone and Jerry Lewis tribute artists. You've done shows with other tribute artists, other Jerrys, other Deans.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about what you perceive the relationship was like between Dean and Jerry.
Oh, that's
loaded a question, isn't it?
I hope Angelo isn't hearing this, but Jerry got on Dean's nerves, and I was just talking to a friend of mine, Joe Scalese, who is also a Dean Martin tribute artist, very, very good Dean Martin tribute artist. Joe,
I know who he is. Yeah,
he's a great guy, and like he said, Dean really didn't like Jerry that much after 10 years of working with him, because Jerry tended to be very domineering, and eventually let his ego dominate the routine. And Dean just had enough. He had enough and wanted no part of that anymore. Didn't know where the hell he was going to land. And was that a UFO? What the hell was that? But
right.
But so I think it was strained. At first, I think it was a novelty, and Dean Martin, being an opportunist, saw that it worked. It worked. The relationship worked. The gags worked. The slapstick worked. Angelo and I are doing our best to recreate that at the risk of possibly insulting some people that might find that humor offensive. But
you know what? Can I say something to you right now? Fuck them. Here's why I am going to get on my soapbox for a minute, and I'm going to defend guys like Phil Solis. I'm going to defend guys like Angelo Capone, and I'm going to defend guys like Tom Stevens and Steve McCoy. I'm going to defend them. Here's why. Because it's entertainment. It's supposed to entertain you, to make you laugh, to make you cry, to make you think, to make you forget about shit for a couple of hours.
That's it, babe.
If you're offended by hearing a joke, get up and walk out.
Yeah.
And then say nothing else of it.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy it, stay there and laugh your ass off.
Right.
Fortunately, you're not the only one who feels that way. In fact, in Las Vegas, they have a very big hit show called Absinthe. And it boy, talking about being rude and crude and crossing all the lines.
Yeah.
That show does it all. And so Angelo and I are going to do that. We're going to cross the lines. We're going to do things that people are going to hopefully say, what the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to bring back that Americana, as our show producer has put it, and bring that back to America. And our goal is to, like you said, have people laugh and, expect the unexpected and not have this.
I'm going to light up the studio behind me, brother. I'm going to tell you what.
I hope you can make it to our show. Maybe we can get a video to you, and you could show that video of our show.
Absolutely, brother.
That would be wonderful.
I'm going to tell you what. Do this. Clear it with Angelo.
Yeah.
I'll come to the show with my equipment. I'll do a live interview right there.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll interview you guys right there.
I gotta clear it with our show producer as well.
See if it's okay. Yeah,
he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. And then we can show all the clips you want. Then, if when we air it,
I will. I'll give him a call tonight, and then I'll call you or
beautiful.
or whatever.
I will inbox you my phone number on Facebook.
That'd be great, pal.
Terrific.
And then we can
Amelia, questions for Phil Solis?
Yeah, because let's go back to what you were saying before, go inside, have fun, entertainment for an hour. I would be one of the ones to sit in the front row. And then you ask me where you're from, and I tell you, and it's like, you tell me something, I tell you something, I'll go back and forth with you and, forget for an
Oh,
hour, It's like,
absolutely.
yeah, we
yeah,
have fun.
You
Why
have to
not,
watch
right?
Amelia. She's a heckler.
Have fun. Why not? As they say, after we've been through, correct? This out with the pandemic and everything, why not have fun? People need to understand to laugh. Is that correct? I mean,
that's absolutely right.
what we've been going through, and people have to understand that. And I myself am like that as well. And going back to, what is the funniest story that have you been told about Dean Martin?
Well, I first want to address the fact that I look forward to going back and forth with you.
Yeah,
There you go.
And we
front row. Let's go for it.
do that in private. But
She's a heckler.
Yeah.
oh, gosh, there's a guy that worked with Dean Martin that I know, and he worked with him as a page back on the
Hmm.
Dean Martin show, and he's always telling me stories about Dean Martin, and most of them are very charming stories about how he would love his audience, and he during the breaks, because Dean would never rehearse, and so during the breaks he would talk with the audience and joke around with the audience and that kind. He just loved the audience and loved the people that came to his shows and that sort of thing. But uh, gosh, I got to tell you one story that I've heard recently, and it was you might find this one on YouTube. I think that there's a guy that broadcast the actual recording, but Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra called Colonel Sanders. You remember Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders?
Hmm.
Mhm.
They called him up and they wanted to pull a gag on Sammy Davis Jr. And so it was going to be Sammy's birthday. And so they called the colonel and they said, we want to have 45 buckets of your chicken delivered on stage while Sammy's performing. Well, Colonel Sanders didn't find that funny at all. But Frank and Dean, while they were talking to Colonel Sanders, laughed through the whole thing. They couldn't keep a straight face because they just loved playing practical jokes. And that just goes to show you the relationship between Frank and Dean. They were very good friends, but and loved to play practical jokes on Sam. There's a very good friend of mine who does Sammy Davis, and his name is Alfredo Miller, and he's just
Oh,
fantastic.
sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Alfredo is one of the best Sammys out
Oh,
there.
it's great.
Yeah, and and not only is he a very talented singer and performer, but
Hmm.
he's also a very good friend of mine and a very sweet man, one of the sweetest guys I know, and I'd do anything for him. But we were talking, he and a guy who plays Frank called Vaughn. Once upon a time, Vaughn and he and I were talking about the Rat Pack, because before we go on, we often talk about what must have happened, and
Oh
and
God, yeah, sure.
it's a lot of fun, and we should record that because I think some people might get a kick out of it, but because we're oftentimes in character talking about the real performers, Dean Martin,
Yeah.
and
Oh God, sure.
yeah, and so I feel
Well,
like
you know what? That's you. You just prompted a question, Phil.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
just prompted a question.
good.
When you're working with a Rat Pack crew,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you guys ever like go off script and just improvise like
Oh,
you?
are you kidding? Every show, every show. Are you kidding me? And the goal, I'm going to tell you a little secret. The goal is to throw the other guys off. So we're
Yeah.
always pulling gags.
Oh
Uh,
God, yeah, yeah.
one time I did, we were doing Birth of the Blues. You know that song.
Oh my God, I love that song. Yeah,
I,
sure.
I did the pratfall that Dean Martin did in the Opera House 1965 show.
Yep.
And I did the
Have it.
pratfall. And those guys didn't know I was going to do it. And it was Nicky DiGidio and Lamont Davis. And they didn't know. And so they looked at me like, "Are you okay?" That was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we're always pulling practical jokes on each other. One time I had a Frank Sinatra come out and he had toilet paper coming out of his butt,
Oh
out of
my
his
God.
I said, what the hell are you doing? I said, you forgot to flush or what's going on? And he said, oh, I just got this. I must have forgotten to wipe.
My mother and father, about 40 years ago, this is how long ago this was, about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Went to see Frank Sinatra here in New Jersey at a legendary show house called the Latin Casino.
Oh,
it's not even around anymore. It's a Subaru building now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They went to see Sinatra just thinking they're going to go see Frank Sinatra.
Sure.
Well, lo and behold, Frank Sinatra was there, and Dean Martin came rolling out his liquors tray on the stage, and Sammy Davis Jr. came through the audience with a tray of drinks in his hand. Yeah. And so the Rat Pack was in the house.
Yeah.
They did something that night, and my mother still talks about it. They had a television camera there. They followed Dean Martin into the men's room. He had the microphone with him. He didn't know it was a hot mic. Yeah, the microphone was still on.
Oh, boy.
Right? And he's talking. He doesn't realize the people in the audience are pissing themselves laughing.
Oh, no.
In the men's room taking a leak. Now, he's got his back to he can't see. There's a camera behind him.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize there's a camera behind him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when he turns around and he zips his pants up, he goes, what the fuck are you doing in here? The audience just lost it after that. That's the kind of shit they used to do.
Oh, yeah.
So when Phil tells you that Frank and the Rat Pack used to play pranks on each other, he's not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. We're going to take one. This is the last clip of the night. We're going to take, and it's one of my favorite Dean Martin songs, even though it was written by the late great country artist Roger Miller. Let's take a look at King of the Road.
King of the Road. Yeah. Yeah, the audience loves this song.
Trailer for sale or rent, room to let, 50 cents. No phones, no pools, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train, destination back on Maine. Oh, worn out suits and shoes, don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, well, all the children by all of their names, every handout in every town, every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. I sing trailer for sale or rent, a room to let, 50 cents. No phones, no booze, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes. I smoke war stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means queen of the road. King of the road.
Now, Phil, the audience didn't know whether to say King of the Road or applause. What the hell happened?
A lot of times they like to play along and sing with that song, but sometimes they don't know what to do. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, right.
the audience.
I love that. That's one of my favorites.
Uh,
Amelia,
Yes.
final questions for Phil Solis, the country's premier Dean Martin impersonator.
Yes. Do you like to be
By the
called
way,
in
before
person?
you ask that question, Amelia, Phil,
Mhm.
let's get something cleared away.
oh, I can
Are
answer
you
that.
a impersonator or a tribute artist? What is the
Why'd you ask
proper?
my question?
You just saying that because I'm just
I
saying.
was about to ask that question. I
Okay, so
swear.
what is it? Are you a tribute artist or impersonator? Because
I'm a,
we've had this debate.
Yes.
I can answer that. I'm a tribute artist, and the
Okay.
difference is an impersonator. I'm also an impersonator. I guess you could classify me, but a tribute artist is somebody that pays tribute to one performer. An impersonator oftentimes will do other impersonations. So they'll do Elvis and Dean Martin and Abraham Lincoln or whoever they can do, you know. But I only do Dean Martin. And like I said, even when people ask me to do Sinatra songs, I always do it in the way that Dean would do it. So I am a Dean Martin tribute artist. I pay tribute to Dean Martin, and that's the only performer that I want to impersonate, I guess you could say. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the difference between a tribute artist and impersonator.
All right. Go ahead, Amelia.
Well, I had actually a two-part question. First part would be, I know how you said you watch his videos over and over to do his mannerisms for the songs and things like that. Do you also have someone do the costumes, his suits, and
Yeah,
anything like that as well?
yeah, absolutely. So all of my suits are tailored, hand tailored, personally tailored to be replicas of Dean Martin. I have three suits, primary suits, uh, two of which you'll see on next week's show, and the Martin and Lewis. One is the silver shark skin suit that Dean would wear at the Sands Casino in Las Vegas, and then of course his tuxedo, which was a one-button peak lapel tuxedo that had short sleeves, the way they used to wear it back in the 1960s and prior to that. And so, yeah, I have all my suits tailored. The third suit, which I don't break out too often, is the suit that he wore in a movie called Robin and the Seven Hoods, and it's a brown pinstripe suit, and I like that suit very much. But and I've got the fedora that he wore as well in that suit. But yeah, I do have suits tailored to replicate Dean Martin, and I everything else I pretty much do myself. My makeup and hair and all of that,
Mhm.
I style it in the style of Dean Martin.
Okay. And before Angelo can get your information on where they can find you on Facebook or upcoming events, would you do me a favor? His birthday is Sunday. Would you sing happy birthday to Angelo? Yes, I did say it.
I'm going to
I thought
start.
his birthday was last week. I wished him happy birthday last week.
No, we're
Uh,
going to sing happy birthday, Dean
oh,
Martin style.
absolutely. I get a little background music or anything? No? All right. All right, here you go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, oh, oh. Happy birthday to you.
Yay.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Phil.
Yes, thank you.
If you want to contact Phil Solis, it's easy enough. Just go to philsolis.com. For additional booking information or specific questions, please email at info@philsolis.com. Phil, where can people book you? Is it strictly through your website, or do you have a management company to use?
I also use a company called The Bash, formerly known as Gig Masters, and a company called Gig Salad. They can also book me through either of those companies. And Tribute Masters is another company that I use. So any of those, but it's probably easiest to book me through my website, and that way they can get your direct contact with me.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, you are definitely a welcome guest here again.
Absolutely.
In fact, we're going to have you back again.
I had a good time.
I'm going to make sure Amelia books you again.
Yes, absolutely.
We can't book him too much, Amelia. He has to go out and earn a living.
Absolutely, he does.
He's got to pay.
He's got to pay those bills.
Absolutely, because he's already got a wife who hates Dean Martin.
Yeah, put me out of. Are you kidding?
She should be loving Dean Martin. Dean's paying the bills right now.
I'm going to get a recording of this, I hope, and I'm going to play it for her.
Absolutely. You can watch this back on YouTube and Facebook. Amelia, who's coming up? Who do we got coming up?
On July 12th, we have a gentleman by the name of Thomas Ryan. He is a New Jersey film director. And
a movie guy.
Yes. And July 14th, we have a return of Alistair Cross. And he's actually bringing along Tamara Thorne. They are book authors. Yes, horror authors. And on July 19th.
Some deep stuff, don't they?
Yes, they do. I've almost done with that book. Very scary.
Deep, dark stuff. Alistair Cross and Tamara Thorne.
Yes.
They make Stephen King cringe.
Sure do.
Man.
Yes. And on July 19th.
Oh, but scary shit.
Yes. and Thursday, the 19th, we have a fake moon landing actually coming up as well.
We are going to do the moon landing conspiracy. Did it happen, or was it all faked by Stanley Kubrick? We'll find out.
We sure will.
Some conjecture and speculation. Then we're going to issue a heads up now, because we're going to do the Kennedy assassination part 2.
Absolutely.
And you're going to see a film that's not been seen before. It is a film showing the fatal headshot coming from the grassy knoll. Very few people know this film exists. We got a hold of a copy of it, and that's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Because I ain't telling you where I got it.
You have to watch and see.
Yep, watch and see it. 4, Phil Solis, tribute to Dean Martin. 4, Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. I am the Mad Dog, Angelo Mad Dog DeCipio. Each and every Tuesday and Thursday, we ask that question. What's the buzz? See you later, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.